And we're back.
This time, it hasn't been 3 months.
Yes.
Or longer.
Nor
I don't know when the last time we recorded was.
Nor an extra 20 minutes to find out where the hell we're supposed to go.
Hope not. So, last episode, or 2 episodes ago, however Jade cuts this up, I made a speech, which I've already been crucified in the comments, I'm sure. So I was talking about Final Fantasy Chronicles, and I misspoke and said 6 for some reason. Yeah, it's totally 4.
Yeah, 4 and Chrono Trigger are the ones in Chronicles.
Which, yeah, it's right here in front of me.
Overall, the Chronicles version of Final Fantasy IV is pretty good. It too, though, it has... Normally its load times are decent, except when you want to save. When you want to bring the save menu up, then you gotta be ready to wait like 5 frickin' minutes.
Well, that's pretty standard for PlayStation 1.
Yeah. Unfortunately. Again,
we were just kind of used to it then.
Maybe, but I mean, I guess, I don't know. It just feels like it's a newer system. You would think that the load times would be shorter, not longer.
But it was the first fully CD system.
True. But then again...
Sega doesn't count. Garbage.
But then again, it was also porting... It was porting 16-bit games.
Yeah, that's... And then Anthology, which I have right here.
Anthology was Final Fantasy V and 6.
6, yeah.
Final Fantasy V with its hilarious translation.
Which the copy I have is like in a jank case.
And Final Fantasy VI is mostly a pretty straight port of the original SNES version. Again, just with the issue with the load times.
Yeah.
Oops.
Yeah, so this one's got... Oh, hey, Chesticle. So the case that I have for Anthology is the same, like, jank type of case that I got with Castlevania. Like, yeah, I mean, it's actually a dual disc case, but it's got, like, the crappy... art and stuff. And then the company that I bought it from, their little logo on the back didn't come with a manual or any of that. Which my Chronicles, I don't remember where I got it from, but it actually has its manual. But it's a greatest hits edition. So it's got that green thing on there. Mm-hmm. Interesting thing to note, though, for this, I don't know when the greatest hits version of this came. Oh, well, there you go. 2001 is when this came out. Or this particular copy was made. It says on the disc. And on the back of the Chronicles manual, it's advertising Final Fantasy X. It actually says Square Enix on the discs and on the advertisement for 10. Whereas on my Anthology discs, it says Squaresoft.
So this was around the time that the merger happened.
Yeah.
I heard it happened at about the time that what was the name of that really
Spirits Within?
Yes, Spirits Within, the really subpar Final Fantasy movie. That occurred around the same time, and I heard that was what caused, like, um, caused a big part of the merger to happen.
And then they released 10 and like recouped all of their money and then some.
Right.
But they couldn't get out of the deal at that point.
Right, because Square had just they just blown so much of their budget on Spirits Within, and then it flopped.
Yeah. Which, I mean, if you go back and watch it and just take it at face value, it's not a terrible movie.
It's not a bad movie. It just doesn't feel like a Final Fantasy movie.
No. Well, that's because it's like space and shit.
Yeah, in which, granted, a lot of the later Final Fantasies do sort of trend towards a more futuristic setting, but still, it just, again, you could have taken any. It feels like you could have taken any sci-fi movie there and just slapped the Final Fantasy name on it and just went from there.
Yeah, I think that's part of what their problem was they put the Final Fantasy moniker on it.
Yeah.
Had they just called it Spirits Within, I think it would have done better.
Would have done okay.
It wouldn't have had that negative. It wouldn't have got the negative backlash that it did. Like
as much crap as Final Fantasy VII Advent Children gets from some people, that at least felt more like a Final Fantasy movie than Spirits Within did.
Yeah. It's a fun movie to watch. My only problem with it is Cloud reverts back to being all dumb.
Oh yeah, being the like emo, and when it seemed like, you know, in the course of the actual game, he seemed to have gotten over all that.
Yeah. Well, at the beginning of the game, he's like trying to be Billy Badass.
Yeah.
And then he, like, ODs on morphine and shit, and is, like, in a wheelchair, irradiated out the ass, has an identity crisis, and then gets over it.
Well, I mean, we find out eventually that he did all of it just to, you know, impress Tifa. But, But yeah,
he gets over it.
Yeah, he gets over all that, and then he kind of goes back into it, which I think they try to explain it through that, like, that geostigma thing that's going around. That's what's causing it.
So he got Alzheimer's or something? Like, what?
Well, that was like this, that was a part of the movie, was this disease.
Yeah, they got the rash or whatever, and then forgot who they were.
Yeah, and I think
it's
that's how they try to explain Cloud going more emo again.
And you're just like, this makes no sense. Get out of here with this. Just get back on the motorcycle and shoot your gun blades. Like, that's what we're here to see. And then another issue with Advent Children was it spawned Dirge, and we don't talk about Dirge.
I myself haven't played Dirge of Cerberus, but I hear so much negativity towards Dirge of Cerberus.
The problem, I mean, other than like the huge amount of retconning that they did with it, and then never followed up with it. The main problem was it didn't know what it wanted to be. The controls are so jank. Mm-hmm. It's like a third-person / first-person shooter that you can be like in first person mode and do melee. Like, okay, think of Metal Gear Solid. If you had the option to play it in first person, like all the time, like move around in first person, and then when you went to do the attack, you know how Snake does the punch, jump kick,
Yeah.
and the camera like rotates when he does the jump kick because you know you're in first person, so you would look around as you spun around to do the jump kick. Like, Dirge does that too, and it's just like, this wasn't a good thing that they did, so why are you doing it? Like, stop it. But yeah, the controls were just garbage, and then everybody had, like, Disney feet. But what I did like about Dirge was, I don't even remember his name. The guy who operates Kate Sith.
Oh yeah, Reeve.
Yeah, there you go. Reeve. He's got, like, huge character development in it.
Yeah.
And, like, you finally get to see, like, his personality and stuff, and you're like, oh, this is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's the only, like, saving grace about Dirge. Yuffie shows up for like all of 2 seconds. And of course the game's mostly about Vincent, you know?
Yeah, well, oh yeah, Vincent, Dirge.
But then, like, you find out that he's got, like, he was experimented on by Hojo, but there's these other guys that are like Vincent as far as the experiments go, but they're not necessarily Vincent, but they're all evil, and they all kind of look like him, sort of, kind of, not really, but we'll go with it. Like, it's so weird, like, all the stuff they tried to cram into it. You're just like, is Final Fantasy VII getting, like, its own, like, deal here? What's going on? And then they were like, oh, no, never mind. Forget all of that. We're going to remake 7 and make it episodic, so you have to pay us more money.
Because that seemed to be the way it was for a while, that they were going to just make 7 into, like, its own
franchise.
Yeah, there was that. There was Crisis Core, which was the prequel to Final Fantasy VII. Then there was Last Order, which was a OVA, an anime OVA, which was like takes place between Crisis Core and Final Fantasy VII. And then Advent Children, which is like the sequel to Final Fantasy VII. So there's like all this material.
Crisis Core was pretty decent. Gameplay-wise, I thought. It was pretty decent. And then they made the one mobile game that we never got that I actually, would have paid for, the Turk one.
Yeah, the one with the Turks. I don't remember the name of it, but yeah, it was like a mobile game that only came out in Japan. There was that, too.
But, like, that game, like, I would have paid for that game. Because who doesn't want to be the Turks? Especially after Advent Children, and you're like, dude, Reno's hilarious. Let's go.
Yeah, I mean, everyone, I think, even here, everyone thought the Turks were pretty badass.
Anyway, back to the game and cutscene time.
The crystals. The light has left them. Oh, hi again.
Oh. I told you to cut her head off. Told you. It's like, you know, when there's a serial killer dude on the loose and he, like, falls on the ground, like, nah, you gotta cap him in the head. You gotta make sure he's gone.
You're still alive? You have my gratitude for leading me here.
As a splinter in your big toe.
Now we have everything we need. I wouldn't be so sure about that. We still need to settle a few things with you.
Oh, this is probably a but thou must.
Yeah, this is gonna be the part where she whips everyone's asses. Yep, Leviathan now.
Oh, he's a piece. Oh, apparently we were supposed to do Bahamut's place, like, just before this fight.
Well, we already did that a while back.
Right, but that's what this guide recommends.
Like doing it between the crater and now?
Yeah.
Huh. Well, hopefully the order in which we did it didn't matter too much.
This says to slow her, haste yourself, and shell yourself, and then just fire the crap out of her.
Uh-huh. Oh, shit. She already killed Fusoya. Oh,
Yeah, I don't
Thundaga
think-
missed Leviathan. I would have thought he would be... I would have expected he'd be weak to it.
I don't think you can hit her summons. Oh. So yeah, just make sure you
yeah.
start by slowing her.
Okay. Oh, we have to actually... You couldn't save it after we did all this junk.
Oh, healed?
Yeah. I'm just gonna... Let me even go back. Hopefully that does.
Oh, to get the autosave?
Yeah.
Psh, you can't skip cutscenes. Crazy. Blurdy blur. Blurdy blur blur blur. Blur 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 blur. Time to die. Yeah, so slow her immediately. And then just fire her. And it also wants you to cast Shell on them. Shell and Haste. There we go. This bar's filling relatively fast now.
So?
It's on the left.
Uh,
Keep going down.
there we go.
There you go.
I hope that doesn't mess him up too much.
Nope.
All
There we
right.
go.
Eat it, bitch. If this is
And
like
then
last
Leviathan
time.
should just disappear on his own.
Yeah. All right.
Sweet XPs.
Is this girl immortal?
Go stab her in the face.
I cannot say, but there's one thing of which I'm certain. The blue planet's crystals are in peril. No shit. Cecil. Oh, call for the lunar well. What? We must attune our crystals with the lunar whale's flight crystal. How? By the power of our prayers. Yes, Visaya.
Oh, that looked like it broke.
Yeah. Oh, shit. Now you done it. What happened? Up.
I told you. Stab her in the face.
I'm not quite dead yet.
Oh. Well, she is dead.
There's more than one of her. I need none of this any longer. Neither the crystals, nor you. What? She's gone. Oh no, they're after our comrades in stasis. To the moon's core. No.
This recommends going to heal and then saving.
Oh, going back.
Yeah. Walking back to those healing spots and
Yeah.
stepping outside for a save. It also says you can get all the treasures from that first part where you were teleporting around and crap.
Mm-hmm.
It says you should have access to all of those now. Oh, go save!
Oh, yeah.
Save! There we go. And the next fight's gonna be survive.
Ah,
And it's
lovely.
it says you can't slow, but haste your guys, and then just throw everything you got at them.
Mhm.
There's no recommended spell or anything, so just keep your HPs up and hope for the best.
Great.
Golbez looks so weird.
Without his armor.
Yeah.
I can only assume that he got rid of it because he just felt, remorse.
It's hard to take a nap in armor, man.
Well, that and all the stuff that he did while he was wearing it. He probably just didn't want to wear it anymore.
But he wears it in Dissidia. He's back to being a jerk in Dissidia too, isn't he?
It seems a little bit. It feels a little ambiguous, actually. Just as to just whose side he's on there.
He's just kind of like, I'm here.
Well, they probably figured Golbez is much more of an iconic, even though Zemus was technically the main villain of Final Fantasy IV. Golbez was the more iconic villain. So, and being Cecil's brother, that also made more sense to have him be there instead of Zemus.
Kudro's in it though, isn't he?
Yeah.
But is Kudro the real bad guy, or is it the dude in the spaceship?
Now with Final Fantasy IX, it jumps all over the place, so I can't even say. Because right, because it starts off with Queen Braun seeming to be the main villain, and then it goes to Kuja, and then it goes back to Braun, then back to Kuja, then to Garland, then back to Kuja again, and then this what was his name? Necron, who shows up at the
That's
at the very
dude, the spaceship, right?
yeah, at the very last second he shows up and says, "Oh hey, I'm the final boss now." So yeah.
Like, he's the dude that blows up Alexandria at the end, right?
I think Kuja is responsible for that one.
Like when the eye thing appears, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Like the dude on the spaceship shows up, and then there's a giant eyeball in the sky, and then Bahamut's just like, "Dude, I got this," and he burns the whole city to the ground.
Yeah, Bahamut seems to be following orders from Kuja at that point. But then like the guy on the spaceship, that might have been Garland.
It's so confusing. It's like, just one bad guy. That's all we need. Just one bad guy. Or, like Final Fantasy VIII. You had the puppet, and you're like, okay, puppet, but then just one bad guy.
Yeah, but it had quite a few puppets. Because, you had President Delling was a puppet of Idea, as was Cypher.
Well, yeah, but
And
I mean,
then they were puppets of Ultimecia.
Yeah, but when you think of 8, you think of the sorceress chick as like the bad guy, and then you're like, nah, she's puppet, and then it's like Ultimacia like the whole time. Because like politically, the sorceress is pulling the strings of the president, and then Cypher's just a jerk off who nobody likes except for Rhinoa for some reason. I mean, even with 6, it's pretty clear that, like, Kefka's the bad guy, like, the whole time. You're like, yeah, the Emperor is kind of a jerk, but, like, Kefka is the crazy, like, he's the clown prince of Gotham. Like, he's crazy asshole. Like, the whole, no question.
Oh, well, I guess we explored the whole thing.
And then with 10, you're like, yeah, Seymour's a jerk. Seymour's a jerk, and Jet is, like, possessed by evil. You might want to heal Starfish Man.
Yeah.
At least your average Final Fantasy isn't as convoluted as Chrono Cross is.
Yeah, Chrono Cross had so many twists and turns.
You're like, alright, so like Viper's the bad? No, it's Lynx. Okay, Lynx is the bad guy. No, it's the dragons. Wait, what? Weren't they helping me earlier? Like, no. Okay, now they're a big dragon. What the hell's going on? Now there's some ghosty people. Alright. Oh, the Devourer of Time. Okay, well, I mean, that kind of makes sense. We are time warping. No, we're dimension warping in this. Wait, what's... Alright, what's this naked chick that's like a flower, but not really, that I have to color match with? What are we doing? And then the game's over.
Let's see.
I mean, I love Chrono Cross, don't get me wrong. But... damned if I know what the hell's going on. Like, it's about halfway through the game, and I'm like, alright, whatever, I'm just gonna kill stuff.
Right?
It's like, first the dragons help you, and then all of a sudden, like, you gotta fight them, but they're like, hey, I just want to test your power, and you're like, okay,
Yeah.
well, that kind of makes sense, and then all of a sudden they're like, nah, we actually hate you.
We're actually the real bad guys of the game.
Well, I've got this little alien dude who can, like, summon the Power Rangers, and we're just gonna stomp your face. So what do you think about that? Which Starkey deserves to be in everybody's party for as long as possible. Just saying. Hey! A chest! Like, why did they put Jet into Cydia?
Um,
Like,
maybe they felt like he was the only villain from the game that was really...
like, Seymour is the villain. Like,
Yeah,
come on.
I do agree with that. Seymour seems like more of the villain of the game than Jet was. Jet was more of like an unfortunate victim that was pulled along for the ride. But yeah, Seymour is definitely more malevolent.
Like, Jet, like, kills a bunch of people, but, like, kind of feels bad about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like it's 100% his fault. Seymour, on the other hand, is way more of a douche.
Tries to steal your girlfriend. He killed his dad.
Oh, shit.
Keeps coming back to life.
Mm-hmm.
The starfish got flattened. That is such an awkward, like, death animation. What is going on with his character model with it?
It's like they have no bones. They just flatten.
Phoenix down, bro. Hey. Gonna need to buy more high potions soon. So, viewers, what's your favorite Final Fantasy bosses?
Okay. I can't. What? Really? I can't use either? Oh, there we go.
Your, like, pinky toe was just touching it, so it didn't count it. Like, what's your favorite RPG that's got a super convoluted storyline that's, like, if you had to explain it to somebody who had no idea what you were talking about, they'd think you were crazy and try to get you committed? Well, that's not cool.
Yeah. Well, okay,
Right.
you guys are just gonna absorb all elements then.
Well, No, that's... Ragnat's favorite game is 5, right?
One of them anyways.
And that one's just like Splinter Man is like the big cheese throughout it, right? Like it never changes?
Yeah, X-Death is more or less the villain the entire time. That never... The game doesn't pull like a surprise final boss out of nowhere.
They just explain that he's an evil tree.
Yeah.
Or part of an evil tree. Maybe that's why Ragnat's likes 5 so much, because it's like, this is the bad guy. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, I think he was like some kind of composite creature that they just took all the souls in and put them in a tree, and then that all combined became sentient.
Did we just run in a big circle?
I hope not. Did we? It's hard to tell.
Well, what floor is this?
B4. Of course,
Oh, no.
I don't know if we're supposed to be going up or down.
At least Wild Arms wasn't this confusing.
Yeah. that spell that spell doesn't look like I can cast on a group, just on one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Wild Arms was just like, and this giant demon thing's the bad guy. You're like, cool, got it. Giant demon.
But then how many times did that change over the course of the game?
With Wild Arms, it was pretty much just the one. The first game?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're just like, these demon guys are the bad guys, and they're trying to wake their mom back up. And then at the end, they wake her up, and she's like, and I'm taking over. More or less, right?
Mm-hmm.
Phoenix down. Just go south. You came from there. There we go.
Ah. Okay.
I guess.
That one cracking too?
Yup.
Yeah. Well then.
You might want to heal, Fusoya.
We can't do it.
Gotta melee attack him, I think.
Right?
Aw, come on, man. Come on, starfish.
There. Ah.
Japers.
Oh shit. Um.
Oops.
I was supposed to use that on the other guy. You know, I'm actually, although we're pretty far into this now, and I'm actually getting pretty tired. So I might...
Yeah.
It's 4 a.m. where I'm at.
Yeah.
So I think I'm just going to cut it off here and we'll see you back where we left off.
Well, you can quick save from anywhere, right?
Maybe. Let's see if we can do that. Hopefully it kept that point where I did that. Maybe.
Game, please.
There we go.
Hey, game.
No, I think it just went back there. Well, I'll have to see. I don't think we lost too much progress, though.
Yeah, we'll just meet you guys back on B5.
Yeah. Alright, see you guys later.
Later.
I'm playing a game.